With over 80 species of fish covering an area of 490 square miles, Lake Champlain harbors some of the best freshwater fishing that New England has to offer. Straddling the border of Vermont and New York, Champlain is known as New England's West Coast and is one of America's largest freshwater lakes. With opportunities for anglers to target a variety of species, Lake Champlain could be fished every day of the year and never fish the same water twice. Our adventure took us deep into Vermont and across the causeway to the Champlain Islands, a large series of islands that hold some of the best fishing the lake has to offer. Here we met up with Captain Matt Trombley of Third Alarm Charters, an experienced guide who would help us in our quest for a trophy Northern Pike. So I know this is all Lake Champlain.
Yep.
Every single one of these is a bay, right?
Yeah, this is Kerry Bay here. Up here in the north end of the lake is pretty much all warm water species.
Yeah,
Largemouth, smallmouth, Northern Pike, a multitude of different bays that can get you out of the wind, whether we got a north wind, a south wind. Yeah, the nice part up here is that virtually any given day, as long as we don't have hurricane force winds, there's different launch points we can get out and get some fishing in.
Which is nice. I was saying that. Now this is all considered North Hero.
Yes, yep, we're in the town of North Hero here, Grand Isle County. We're gonna fish the whole islands region the next couple of days, areas north of Burlington for the most part.
Well, I'm excited to be out here with a firefighter, one of the first responders, Third Alarm Charters. Although if it gets to a third alarm, that's usually a bad thing, right?
Yeah, no doubt. Usually a first or second alarm is handled by the guys on duty. We go to a third, it means the neighbors are coming.
Your neighbors are coming and somebody's got coverage of your station.
You got it. Usually it's y'all come because we're going to need help.
That's exactly it. So hopefully none of that today, but...
One of the things that one of my old instructors always said, if it went to a third alarm, it was one worth going to. So I figured a third alarm fishing trip should be one worth going on.
I like that. Right? I like that.
All right, fellas, I'm going to shut the big engine down, and then I got to put the trolling motor down. We'll go to it.
Now, casting in towards shore, does it matter either way?
We're going to hit that weed line in just a moment, and I would cast up onto the weed line and bring it off. That's where most of the hits were. We're just hitting about 10 feet of water. I'm going to make sure I find that spot for you.
I imagine even if this is a foot or two down, they can see it from pretty far down, you know?
Yeah, this area, this end of the lake is pretty much all rock bottom, so the water clarity is much better. You know, we throw a lot of whites and chartreuses, the rock points that have got smallies on them, crankbaits with anything that's got chartreuse in it usually is a good producer. This is the 7th year for me as a licensed charter captain. Continues to expand and offering trips almost year-round from March right through to the holidays. I take a little break in January, February to do trade shows. Hook up. Nice.
Yeah, it was funny. He gave me a little tap and was like, he was playing with me a little bit there.
What do we got here?
I think we got a bass.
Yeah, looks like a largemouth. There we go. This little guy is kind of small. You know, we get them 3 to 4 pounds. You know, this is a 1.5-pounder here. Real good specimen. Doesn't have any mites on him or any lamprey marks or anything. Get the good old Johnson silver minnow.
First fish right there. That's always a good sign, just to break the ice. Gonna get that guy back in. He's real healthy. Cap, thank you. I can see with these big gunnels, you need that net.
Yeah, you know, it's I do a little trolling. I actually do springtime trolling trips off this boat here on Champlain. I have my downriggers on my trolling tackle, so I take it off for bass trips. But when it gets bumpy, I feel safe, and I'm not going to go flopping out overboard.
And especially when you're out here towards the end of the season, because that water, I imagine, gets down real cool.
Yeah, we're definitely still warm for this time of year. We should definitely see water temperatures dropping by now, but if you're out here in November, pushing December, you want to definitely know that you're out something safe.
Yeah,
so.
no, that makes sense. Throw a little spinner on.
That should throw pretty nice. I just rigged that up 3 weeks ago.
What do you usually have on there for it?
I run a lot of braid. Braid has just got so much sensitivity. The braid's the most versatile. You don't get the memory with it all the time.
Oh, look at this guy right there. He
Nice
came right up
northern.
out of the depths.
Nice
I
northern.
watched him. I gave him a little twitch, and that little twitch was just enough to give it a reaction.
Nice northern, Chris. Beautiful fish.
So we just started working this coast, and we were talking about seeing if we couldn't hook up on a Northern Pike, and boy, it was almost on cue. I'm gonna try to why he's not quite done yet.
Well, we'll let him do his thing.
He sees the boat, he doesn't want any part of it. Captain, I'm gonna try to walk him right over your shoulder.
Sure.
He's coming, got his nose out of the water. Oh, there we go.
There we go, fellas. Nice northern, Chris.
That is a beautiful fish right there.
And he spit it right there, Chris. Nice job keeping him loaded up.
Look at the teeth inside there. That's why you want to make sure you handle the smart end.
Here you go. Get to see the teeth that these guys have got. You definitely don't want to put your fingers in there. Good trophy fish. It's a lot of folks come up here for it. These northerns are super aggressive here in the fall. He smacked that spinnerbait in good shape.
Back out of the depths. I think that's a fish, yeah. Oh, that's a nice fish. That's a two-hander.
Two-hander to get him in.
Oh, that is a beautiful fish.
There we go. That's a nice one.
Get these up in Maine like this. After catching a few more healthy bass, we ran to the opposite end of Kerry Bay, where Captain Matt Trombley had recently landed some nice-sized Northern Pike. We have just a gorgeous night as the sun's setting out here, and we got the moon rising over my shoulder here. One thing about this place is that you could probably fish any day you want based on just darting in behind one of these peninsulas or one of these islands or so.
Are you getting hung in weeds, Chris?
A little, not too bad,
We're
no.
in 7 feet
I'm
here.
just kind of keeping it a little closer to the surface. There we go.
Nice little bucket mouth.
Here we go. There we go. Doubles, boys.
You hooked him?
Yeah.
Nice. Right at dark doubles. Awesome.
That's
Look
awesome.
at that jump. What do you got, Chris?
All right, you know, good question. I haven't seen him yet, but he feels like he's got a little weight unless I got some weed on him.
Got a pike, a nice pike. Here, guys, I'm gonna let that fish just drag right there. I'm gonna watch this show.
Woo, that's what we're here for.
Look at that.
Nice, and the captain's got one. Thank you
hold
very
that
much.
right there,
I'll hold that
Chris?
right there. I'll let you land yours. So that's that bite we were talking about, right?
Look at that, right at dark, fellas. And a largemouth.
There we go. Fishing with Captain Matt Trombley, Third Alarm Charters. The bay we're in.
This is Kerry Bay, up
Kerry
in North
Bay.
Hero and Grand Isle County, Lake Champlain.
I'm gonna go ahead and release this guy back in the water.
Great stuff.
He should take right off. I'll grab his tail first.
Mine, no problem.
There he goes, right down in the weeds. Yeah,
Great
that was
stuff.
awesome.
That was
This is
perfect
what we were
timing.
just saying, the witching hour right now, that sun's going down. With the sun finally setting on Kerry Bay, we headed back to the Anchorage of South Hero, a lodge with over a dozen cabins that overlooked Lake Champlain. After a great meal, we relaxed by the campfire and recounted the incredible day on the water, while enjoying a few pops before turning in for the night. Morning came early, and after a quick coffee at the lodge, we raced across the causeway towards Mallet Bay Marina, a public boat launch that allowed us to fish the big bluffs of Mallet Bay while staying out of the building winds. Along with Matt and I, Dave Morissette, owner of the Anchorage of South Hero, joined us on our second day of fishing to target some bass and Northern Pike along the rocky shore.
We're just gonna catch this wind current, Chris,
Yep.
and we're gonna just keep working right to that rock point along this whole
down there,
face.
tuck in a little bit.
Just keep trucking towards shore. If we gotta slide out on the next drift pass, I did fish in pretty much this realm all through here last week, so 64 degrees here.
I imagine fishing on Lake Champlain, you can find a nook, a cranny, or some place to tuck out of, no matter where the wind's coming from. There we go. There you go.
Smallie.
A little smallie.
Boy, I was just barely reeling that in too, Chris.
Oh, nice fish.
Swing him right to you.
Yeah, you got it. Gorgeous fish.
There we go.
Oh, look at this guy, huh? That is a beautiful fish.
Ready.
Now that's a smallie, huh?
Go, guys. Nice Champlain bronze back right there, Chris. Beautiful.
Look at the back
colors.
on this guy.
They're not super aggressive yet. I really just slowed that retrieve down. It was just, I could feel that blade barely thumping, so I think that was the key part right there with him.
I'll tell you what, look at the back on that fella, huh?
And there he goes.
One of the things when you're fishing out here on Lake Champlain is conditions can change in a heartbeat. And so we got a little bit of wind, and you noticed on the Humminbird unit, we got some fish marked down below there.
Sure do. So with a spot lock on the Minn Kota, guys, what it does is take a DPS reading when I hit it, and it takes a moment for it to line up to where it wants to be. You can't just drop your baits down. It takes a sec for that thing to say, okay, it was right about here. And it'll spin. As you can see, it's turning right now, and it actually adjusts the throttle to match up with the wind speed of the spot you're trying to work. So now it's gonna do all the work.
About 20 feet, 22 feet of water. We just hooked up a rig that's gonna drop it straight down. We'll do a little
drop shot work.
Drop shot right off the bottom. Now, what were we fishing? You said it was a what?
That is a Kevin Van Dam series Dream Shot.
Yeah, do you find the Northern Pike school up?
Yep, like that one right there.
Like that one right there. Right down to the bottom?
Right off the bottom. I was crawling that. That's a smallie.
All right,
Northern.
Let me go ahead and pull this up. I'll give you.
Actually, no, it's a Northern. He's right here. Fairly decent Northern, too.
Okay.
Look at that.
Beautiful fish.
Nice Northern.
Sitting right down low, huh?
Yeah, I mean, there's a weed line right on that 12-foot drop-off, and I let that drop to the bottom, and I was swimming it down across. You know, an average size Northern Pike, probably a 7-8 pound Northern. Real pretty colors, a lot of fight. There's a time of year to get them. This is it.
Here we go. Nice job.
Our first contact with Anchorage was through family. We started coming up in the late 90s. My wife and I actually came up here and stayed here for our first year anniversary. That's when we fell in love with it. It made it a lot more special when this place came up for sale. We just knew right away that it was for us. So we've been here just over 7 months, just gotten through with our first season. It's been above and beyond anything we could have imagined. We have 14 cabins. This year we added charcoal grills, some picnic tables. We also serve breakfast and we serve dinners this summer on Friday and Saturday nights. Next season we plan on offering breakfast and dinner daily. Some of the things that we offer here at the Anchorage is we have our own ramp in the springtime where we can launch some boats. We have half a dozen moorings out there so people can bring their own boats. They can moor for the week. You can bring your boat, and we have plug-ins here. We also have rental boats. We've got a few kayaks. Well, our vision for the property is we really want to hold on to what the Stedmans created here. They started the Anchorage back in 1957. It was an invite-only type deal, and generation after generation families came here and grew up here. We've had great stories and people that have come back this year, and we want to build on that and have our own generation of people coming in. Lake Champlain Islands offers a destination bass fishery, but on top of that, we offer lake trout, salmon, pike, pickerel. The ice fishing here is phenomenal. We've held a few bass tournaments here this year. And with the facilities that we have, we can hold up to possibly up to 20 boats on our property. So that's really what we're looking to do.
With the weather building, our fishing was cut short by a fast-moving storm that created difficult fishing conditions on the lake. But with the storm passing overnight, we were greeted the next morning by a picturesque sunrise at Apple Island Marina, just minutes from the Anchorage Lodge. Matt, we got a gorgeous day today, huh?
Mother Nature opened it up for us, Chris. The weather moved through last night. Stellar fall conditions on Lake Champlain. How can you beat it?
This is what that top water bite, if you can get something to come up and explode on this, you know, this is a bonus day for us. We're generally in and out in 2
Man, look
days.
at that.
This is breathless. What did they say? Call them for 3 to 5, if that?
Yeah, out of the west, which we're pretty well protected here. I don't think we're going to deal with much wind at all this morning, that's for sure. Gorgeous.
Get up on this shore. I'm going to stay with the top water.
We're a chatterbait
Little
here.
chatterbait. I want to fish my way into that point. Now for early October, this is not peak foliage by any means. And with all the water you get this year, is that a little later?
That and we had a pretty warm, I'll call it midsummer stretch the last 10 days where we had some weather that was in the 80s and even hit 90 once in the last week of September. Just unheard of. We're normally approaching peak. Now there we go. Hit that top water. Yeah, nice job, Chris.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny, I let that rest for a second there. We were in downtown Burlington last night.
That's a pickerel.
Oh, little pickerel.
Nice species we haven't gotten yet.
And on the way out of the restaurant, I think it was the Vermont Pub and Brew House. Look at that. Temperature was 72 degrees. 72 degrees at 9:30 on October. What's that? 4th?
I think it was the 4th. Yeah, just crazy to imagine that.
That's awesome, huh?
Look at that. The Daddy Mac AB bomb getting it done this morning.
Been fishing the Daddy Macs a lot. Salty and fresh.
Great product.
Company. Let me see if I can't sneak
go.
in there. What I'm going to do is let's see if we can't get this one first.
Sure. There.
All right. Came up. You had one in the corner there, and I think the other one came loose. Look at that. That's a big slime dart, huh?
Yeah, nice little chain pickerel. It's one more species that we get here in Champlain. And I've actually gotten a lot bigger than this. We actually have hybrids too. Northern Pike.
Really? I was going to ask you that.
Yep, the Northern Pike will crossbreed with these chain pickerel. You know, it's just one more little guy that we can target around here, and they're scrappers.
Now, was that called a pickerel?
Pickerel, you got it, exactly.
Get this guy back in the water. Beautiful weather right now. So we got a smallmouth bass, largemouth bass. We got the Northern Pike, and now we added a pickerel.
Nice batch of mixed stuff.
What are some of the more popular patterns in here as far as colors?
Anything with the whites and silvers when it comes to this clear water. Any of the natural looking baits as far as the crankbaits we use. Anything that's got either a shad or shiner look to it. Normally jerk baits are pretty good, but this water's still too warm.
You know, I think, what was it, 65 degrees? Ooh, there he is,
Look at
right
that.
there. Let him
Look
sit.
at that. Right there. Right at the boat.
Got a bass.
Nice bucket mouth.
Came up and took a swing at it.
Barely got it too, Chris.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful.
Look at that.
Just popped right
Threw
there.
it right there.
Beautiful fish. That's a top water bite. Perfect example of just kind of letting the bomb just sit there and kind of just walking the dog.
This guy he hit right here in front
He
of
was right here. Yeah, he was right in
Sometimes
front
it's tough
of
to get that reaction when they're right there and no lead to get against them. But, you know, a typical 1.5 2 pound largemouth. And
We'll get that guy back in the water, guys.
there he goes.
Well, it's been awesome. This morning's been bonus for us to get out here. I know the camp we're staying at right around, like, I think this last point in here and tucked in there.
Yep, and right around a corner called Paradise Bay. Couldn't be a more fitting name for the Anchorage Inn.
Absolutely. Great spot. How about the nightlife in Burlington?
Burlington is a neat little metropolitan area in good old the Green Mountains of Vermont. It's right on the waterfront in Lake Champlain. Lots to do for families. You've got the aquarium, the Historical Society. We've got a new marina coming in of the 2 that are already there. You have the Spirit Ethan Allen cruise ship that runs out of the lake. And of course, once you come up in the Church Street area, just a myriad of shops, pubs, restaurants, anything for everybody's liking. And it's really a great tourist destination. I do a lot of trips of people that come into the Burlington area looking to do something to get on the water, and having a mobile vessel that I can launch at different places within a half-an-hour circle of the Burlington area and meet my clients, you know, depending on where they're staying. It works out very well that way.
Oh, there he is. It is crystal clear water. I saw him come off from about 4 or 5 feet away, Northern Pike. He's gonna make a run right for the boat. You good? I'm gonna slide him right to you. Oh, there we go. There we go, beautiful fish.
Yeah.
We were just talking about the colors in that chartreuse with the gold blade. Hadn't had that many casts, and how clear this water is. I saw him come from a little ways away. Look at this guy.
He looked a little bigger in the water. It's a 3-4 pounder.
You know, it's funny because the water's so clear. I saw this guy come around. He was looking at the gold blade and just right off to the side. And
That golden chartreuse we were just talking about, the top colors, and certainly one that definitely takes a ton of Northern Pike. This whole weed line up through off this point is loaded with them. I'm sure we'll grab some more.
I am gonna get back after that. We're gonna get this guy in the water. Beautiful Northern Pike, and conditions couldn't be better right now. Now, do you ever work this little cove in here?
Yeah, we're going to cut in. I've been staying right on the edge of the weed line here, Chris.
Is that a rocky bottom in there?
A little bit, but there's weeds in here. We got a lot of weeds under us right here. We're in 12 feet of water.
And I'm casting
Straight toward shore. We're just going to keep paralleling as we go down through here.
There he is, right there. Oh man.
Nice one, Chris.
Yeah, it was funny. I think he tapped it before and then he came up on it. I can't see it yet, so I'm not sure what that is.
Staying down.
Yeah, it is. Oh, look at him there. There's Northern Pike.
Northern, nice.
Well, he's coming. Oh, he just saw the boat.
Yeah, he did.
He saw you with that net. He said, I don't know if I'm coming that way. Boy, we have had just a tremendous time here at Northern Pike. Oh, what the hell?
He's trying to shake it.
I'm going to jump right back in there.
Look at that.
Look at
Nice.
that. Awesome, huh?
Beautiful.
I can't thank you enough, Cap, for getting me out here.
Chris, I can't thank you guys enough coming along and joining us at Lake Champlain. We've fought a little bit of different types of weather conditions, but we've been putting fish in the boat. That's what it's all about, folks.
We've got a bunch of northerns. We got some smallies. We got some largemouth bass. Threw a pickerel in there as well. Just a beautiful fish. That was awesome. I'll tell you what, you said, let's come around that corner back into Paradise Bay. After a spectacular time fishing the bays and islands of Lake Champlain, it was difficult to leave such a relaxing angler's paradise. We covered an immense amount of water on this trip, but in reality, it was only a drop in a very big lake. With an abundance of fishing opportunities available with every season, I highly recommend adding Lake Champlain to your list of angling adventures.